Hello there, welcome on board this flight from Lisbon to Gibraltar. We're just at the top of descent. I've just set flight level 100. Doing an open descent, I wanted to keep myself on my toes, so none of the managed stuff until absolutely on the final approach. You can see the green dots on the altitude display there. That's vertical descent profile, and the purple dot on the speed tape is best speed. But I just wanted to play around with the open descent for myself. Here I'm just setting the brightness on the screens, of course, zooming in, getting them all ready for the descent and the approach. There's a little warning here because of some odd bug. This is not normal at all. I'm on version 1.9 at the moment. It didn't allow me to input the fuel on board at the gate. Like the squares weren't there. So, but when I did transfer the fuel over from Simbury, from the OIS. So you can see that we're going to land with 9.9 tons, and we've got 10.6 tons on board. So everything's okay. Let's have a look at the approach checklist now. We can do the auto brake, and we'll do the rest a little bit later. Just increasing the speed for the descent now, because as you can see at the bottom, it says that we're 900 feet above, meaning the path is 900 feet below. Seatbelts on at 18,000 or so, just to keep ahead of ourselves. 920 for the missed approach, decision altitude stuff. Just pop that in there, the burrow. Decision altitude and height are different approach minima requirements. Here we are on the map. I made a small mistake actually, because I set the weather manually to be cloudy and rainy. But of course when you synchronize the weather in the landing data page, it's going to give you the real world weather, which is dry, and the winds were different as well. I set the wind to be from the east, I think, but even on the approach they came out of the west. I'm not quite sure how that happened, because I didn't set real world weather, so there is a mismatch between, we had quite a fast ground speed on landing. Just having a look at the constraints. There's just one there out above 3,000, but we will be there at 5,700, so that's okay. 10,000 landing lights. There's our approach chart on the left. Very, very challenging approach into Gibraltar. Passing 6,000, transition level. It's transition level on the way down, transition altitude on the way up. I've got the weather on my navigation display. Copilot has the terrain. So I'm just fiddling around with this approach actually with vertical speed. Of course, in reality, the edge of control tell us what to do, or we're on managed, but keeps you on your toes, as I say. We'll do all those checklist points and get a bit closer. The little symbol there above the flaps is actually the speed brake arm symbol, so you don't need to look at the screen on the right side. I have a shortcut button on my joystick for that. So we're in about 15 miles or so, so activate the approach phase. We're not in managed, so it's not going to drop the speed off. Tells the system logic that we're ready to land. Creeping the speed back on the approach. Flaps 2 gear down, and eventually I'll go into manage when I go to flaps 3.
2 past 500.
So you can see the wind is 270 at 10. I did honestly set it to be like 0.60 at like 15 or 20 or something, so I'm not sure why that didn't register. So managed speed, nice big right turn coming up. Just fiddling around with there's our green dot. We're just a tiny bit under, so I just reduced rate of descent by a tiny bit, just tiny little modifications. but otherwise ready for landing, pretty much. Nice right
One
turn.
pass.
I need to create a shortcut to cancel that, because or find a way to double click and get rid of the warning, otherwise I have to do that. So I need to fix that for myself. If anyone has any ideas, do let me know.
Minimum.
Because if I press it twice, it just turns it off and then on again. It doesn't do the Airbus thing. The orange caution letters on the display there are land ANSA, which is at nearest suitable airfield. So you're giving quite a nice ground speed there, but we're on the puppies, and we touch
100.
down quite softly. I'd say it wasn't too heavy.
50, 40, 30.
This is a tailwind of 6 knots, which is not the best on this length runway. But we've got the idle in, we've got the reverse in, speed brakes came up, and we managed to stop with auto brakes on medium. The interesting thing actually about those blue messages about the fuel partly unusable is it gave some interesting, because the computers don't know how much fuel we have on board, it can't calculate properly the brake to vacate, etc., and the effects of the reverse. So it's quite interesting logic. Anyway, thanks for flying along with me, and I'll see you in the next flight. All the best. Bye for now.